My mom was just saying to me, she's like, oh my God, she's like, I'm really praying that I don't get sick, because now my dad's sick. She's like, I'm really praying that I don't. I said, well, Mom, why don't you start taking your vitamins? She goes, I don't believe in that shit. She goes, you know what? She goes, I just think you're going to get sick or you're not. And I was like, geez, Mom, that's a hot take.
Kind of. That's how I believe that too.
Yeah.
I am or I'm not. Like there's,
Yeah.
I don't know how much vitamin C is going to fight against that shit. I don't know. Why does your mom want to talk to me?
Your mom, my mom, your mom. My mom resonates with, your
struggles of addiction?
Yeah, probably. I mean,
or she didn't say specific?
She didn't say specific. I mean, not that my mom, but my mom has had like personal connections to that world, and so I think she just was just saying to me, she's like, I really resonate with some of the things that Frank has been saying in his podcast Halfway Runaways, and I would love to talk to him. So
does she want to talk here? She just want to like talk?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, oh my gosh, my mom.
It's just going to be a Garandola lineup.
Yeah, Girandola with
Girandola. Is it Girandola?
Yeah, like a giraffe. Yeah.
It's not Girandola.
No,
it's Girandola.
Girandola.
I'm sorry, I've been saying that wrong.
You're not the only one. I have a very good
10
friend.
10 people now.
Wait,
I've been saying it wrong.
Wait, one of my very best friends from middle school. I'm just gonna say his name is Ryan. We love you, Ryan. We love him so much. He's one of my very best friends, and forever he always says, but he's so respectful. So it's like we can't like he'll always go up to my dad and shake his hand and say, hello, Mr. Girandola, and we're all like, ooh. But no one will correct him because like he's so nice and respectful. We're like, oh, Ryan.
No one's ever corrected him?
No,
God,
I think that if he watches this, it'd be
dude. Okay.
Sorry.
There's stuff in my teeth. I ate salad.
No,
Okay.
no. I was just. I get scared. I have lipstick on my teeth, so.
No, I would tell you.
It's a me thing.
Promise
Thank God.
100%.
I hate it when people won't tell me that.
Like I was talking to a table the other day for like an hour, and they're a fun table. They come in and they gossip. Mm-hmm. So much fun. I fucking love it.
I love that. Yeah.
And like they're the gossip girls.
Oh, cute.
So much fun. And
the gabbing gals.
The gabbing gals. And I went to the bathroom after. I was like, I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be back. And I look in. There's something in my teeth. I'm like, motherfucker, didn't tell me.
That you know what I do now? I will go up to someone and be like, "You didn't fucking tell me I have something in my teeth." Like I'll call them out.
Don't talk to me.
I'll put it right in their face. You see this? You didn't tell me this was in my teeth.
It's gonna stay here.
It's rude. It is. Like, help your buddy out.
I think people are afraid that they're gonna be afraid of being rude by telling you this, and they're gonna like, I'm gonna be embarrassed. Like, oh, I got something in my, oh man, I'm so embarrassed. I have something in my teeth. No, I'm embarrassed that I've been talking to you for 45 minutes.
Yes,
and you didn't tell me.
Oh, it's horrible.
Because if you're talking to me with something in your teeth, I'm staring at it.
I know. Yeah, like so when people say, "Oh, I didn't see it."
Oh, I did.
Yeah, I'm like, bullshit. Yeah. That's right where my eyeballs have been going. Like,
yeah. I have a problem looking at people in the eyes when they're talking. I don't know what it is. I think it's because I don't know what they're saying if I do it. So I'm always.
You have to watch their mouth.
I watch their mouth.
Actually, I think that's probably pretty normal.
Really? Someone told me it was a trauma response one time. Now I try to look at people in the eyes. So yeah, but people be like, "What color eyes do I have?" And I'm like, "I don't know. You have white teeth, though."
Maybe that's why we like get along so well, because I feel like I look at like the mustache area. Like I feel like I'm looking at like the left side of your nose, like for the most part. That's where the center of my focus is, and then I'm just seeing everything at once.
Yeah, I'm about the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to be staring at your pupil. That's uncomfortable. That's like too much. Relax.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like for, the whole time.
Dude, do a couple of these or something. It's rough.
Yeah, like I'm okay.
But then there's that guy from Stranger Things, like the brother, the crazy brother. Have you ever seen him in interviews? The crazy brother of the redhead Max.
Oh yeah.
Girls like him. What's his name?
Mm-hmm.
You ever seen him in interviews?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Oh, he just goes right for the eyes, and as they're talking, he just stares in their eyes, and it's just like, and I go, the eye contact is like, I'm watching, going, like I'm even like, whoa. What the
Yeah, if I was the interviewer, like me as, you know, who I am today, I know if he was looking at me like that, I'd be like, this man's in love with me. I'd be like, the fuck? Like,
There
or
was
he's
one with a
trying to
guy
get
who
me
was
to
doing the
be
same
in love
thing.
with him. Like, it
Do you
feels a
think
little.
that's how you can make someone fall in love with you? Just stare in their eyes?
A man like that, like him, it feel to me it's intentional. I think it's like he
knows what he's doing. It's a game.
His look, I mean, he does it throughout Stranger Things. Like, it's a very like seductive look.
Yeah. Okay.
He has a seductive look to him, but like that he's, you know, and then like he's not intentionally staring right into your soul. Like,
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try, but I have tried it and I failed. I failed. I have. I get nervous. I'm the one that gets nervous first. See? I'm trying to make the other person nervous. And I'm like, oh God, I fell in love. It backfired on me.
It backfired. I'm in love now. Shit.
Oh God.
I gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta.
Oh, that's very funny.
Okay. Anytime you want to fall in love with someone, just try to have a staring eye contest with them. Oh God, no joke. There really was this one girl I was trying to. I was like, because, and it was from watching him and his clips.
So this was.
I fucking watched it and I was like, God, man, like, because you see the girls like kind of get nervous and I tried it.
Sorry, that was.
And I fucking tried it, and she mirrored that, man. She looked right back at me, and I went, like I was kind of like, oh my God.
You're like, oh,
she watched the same clips as me.
Mirroring is a sign that someone likes you, though, so that's good.
Oh man, I see it as I do it to I do it when I'm uncomfortable sometimes.
To mask,
Yeah, I do it. Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, I think it's all relative. I think it's everybody's different, but it makes me kind of giggle when I think about like Joe and my first date, because like he definitely was mirroring. Like there was, I mean, I don't even think he like knows this, but or was aware of it. I happen to be watching, like I'm fascinated in human behavior. I'm fascinated in like verbal cues, physical cues, like language cues. So like I happened to be watching like podcasts on it, but like right before I was going, like, and it had nothing to do with like my date with Joe. It's just that then it just, but then it just, it like, I noticed it. Like when we ordered the food, like he was only eating when I ate. Like he would only like the positioning that he did was like very much mirroring me, which is good. You know, he liked me, and now we live together, and we have crushes on each other. So that's nice.
Good.
But yeah, the eye contact is intense.
Yeah, I'll try it again.
I'll try it again.
Yeah, I will.
Well, I have a question for you for today's topic to start off, if that's okay. We need to ground ourselves.
Okay.
Question is, in the criminal crime world, do you lean more towards the argument of nature or nurture?
Nurture.
Okay. Do you want to say why?
Because I think you can, on a personal level, the way I was raised and then the crazy experiences I've had in childhood to adulthood and all these things, like molded me in a certain way that I became so many different people at times. And I just think, I don't know, I've met somebody and been like, why are they this way? And then I've met their parents and went, that's why they're this way.
Yeah.
Like, I think...
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, I think I've watched something on twins too, like raised in different households. And one ends up one way and one ends up another.
I've seen the opposite, where twins are raised in different households and they grow up exactly the same. Like they have the same likes, dislikes, personality traits, like, and so I thought you were actually gonna go towards the nature and when you brought that up.
I think humans can be so molded.
Yeah.
So I think nurture.
Yeah. Well, this today's topic is John Wayne Gacy, and I think that this case leans heavily towards, the nurture side, but it's also I think what's really hard about this topic, and I actually don't even really like the argument. I just asked it to open up the conversation and to open up the topic, but I don't really like it just because there are people who also experience horrific things and then they grow up to be fantastic people. So I actually think it's more nature. That's my thought. I think, of course, environment will play a factor and it doesn't help, but I think that I do think it's nature.
But John Wayne Gacy, you think is more nurture?
Yeah, I think, well, at least the way his story is told. Now, granted, again, yes, he had a really rough childhood. But again, there are people who have really rough childhoods and then they grow up to not be what John Wayne Gacy was.
Yeah,
so it's hard to...
complete opposite, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't anything that I saw, at least of what I'll cover today, that was very specifically like he, it was like more traumatic than... I mean, I'll get into it, but... Yeah, he had a rough childhood, but again, I don't think there wasn't like a defining moment that I think it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense that he turned into this horrific monster. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Well, anyway. Okay. Well, shall we get into it? Okay. So, also a little disclaimer. When I listened to the details of this case, I was listening to a podcast that I brought up in the last episode. It's called Defense Diaries. It's done by Bob Motta Jr. Bob Motta Sr., who was his father, was John Wayne Gacy's defense attorney. And the way that the podcast opens up is that on Bob Motta Jr.'s 21st birthday, I believe it was his 21st birthday, Senior gives him a present, and it's a wrapped up shoebox. And he hands it to him after he blows out his birthday candles, and he shakes it thinking that he's going to get car keys. But when he opens it, it's cassette tapes, and it is 15 hours of interviews between Bob Motta Sr. and John Wayne Gacy going into the trial. And so he created his podcast, Defense Diaries, to break down all of these cases and all of these recordings, and basically to just show the world the recordings. The season became 33 episodes, and they also changed history and in what they found. Now, here we are doing one episode on it, so I tried to condense it, as best I could, but I'm certainly going to miss details. Just a little disclaimer, but,
We can make it 2 episodes.
We can make it, we'll see. I don't think we need to, but, just as a disclaimer to everyone, it's a lot. There's a lot of layers to this story. So, to start, John Wayne Gacy was born in 1942 in Chicago, Illinois. And like I said, his childhood was pretty rough. His father was described as very strict, very critical, and often very verbally abusive. And there were multiple references to his father calling him weak or disappointing. And now this seemed to follow him throughout his childhood. He wasn't a very athletic person. He actually had a heart condition as a child, so he wasn't very athletic. He wasn't very popular. He also didn't really do extremely well academically. So he just was kind of not doing great. He was bullied and belittled by his peers, his classmates, and, he would go home, and because he wasn't this, popular kid successful child that his father wanted him to be, he was also belittled, and verbally abused by his father. So this created a lot of, tension at home and created a very rough childhood for him. And then as a teenager, he continued to struggle socially and academically. However, he started to fake it till you make it, we'll say. He started to show signs as a teenager or into his young adult life that he was very ambitious and he was very eager to be liked. So it was important to him to have status. He wanted to be seen as successful, and he often spoke of future business plans that he had. Like he would just kind of, be like, I'm going to be very rich, and this is what I'm going to do, and these are the businesses I'm going to have. And that was often reported by peers, and he would often dress to impress in his late teens and early 20s. Now, after high school, he joined civic and community organizations, and later into adulthood, he joined local political organizations. Now, he, after high school, sought jobs that made him appear to be dependable and respectable. And, and this is a really interesting detail about John Wayne Gacy that I will probably bring up a few times, but he knew where to position himself. Like, he knew what the world needed to see in a way. He knew what people around him wanted to see, or he knew what a successful person looked like. So he was able to position him into that image or into that role. So from a very early age, like right out of high school, he starts putting himself in, or he starts going after jobs that were like, okay, this is I think most of us do in a way.
I think so.
Yeah, like it's like, okay, I leave school and now I'm going to go get,
I
a
kind of look
marketing
around
job
a little bit and I go, what are they doing? How are they moving?
Yeah, how are they moving? How should I appear? And even just in jobs, like, okay, now I'm going to go get a big girl job. I'm going to go into a marketing job. And that is what looks stable, respectable. It gives that appearance, but and also the reality is that it does actually give that financial stability in a lot of cases. So on the outside, things started to look really stable. He had jobs, relationships, and he was building what looked to be a normal life. And in 1964, Gacy married Marilyn Myers in Waterloo, Iowa, and they had 2 children together. The names of the children have been protected throughout since all of this, and just to respect the privacy of the family and the members who were not involved in any of these crimes, because especially the children, they went on to live private lives, and public doesn't know who they are. But we do know that they had 1 son and 1 daughter together. But Marilyn's father actually owned several Kentucky Fried Chicken franchises, and I think that this is very important. Again, it's very intentional, his positioning and his placement. So this is how Gacy initially became involved in working as a restaurant manager in Iowa. So he worked for her father, and he worked, at one of these KFCs as a restaurant manager in Iowa. This is where Gacy's first sexual offense happens. So in 1968, Gacy was charged and convicted of sodomy involving a teenage male employee who was a minor who was working under him at the KFC. At this time, Gacy was 26 years old. And once he was convicted, his sentence was 10 years in prison.
Wait, was he gay?
Yeah, there's a lot of speculation that he was. Yeah, I would say yeah, probably. Yeah. But do you want to guess how long he actually spent in prison?
32 days.
I had to do the math.
Oh.
No. That would be 1 month, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He spent about 18 months.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right on the nose in the fact that he did not spend 10 years.
500 days or something.
Yeah. No, there's only... Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry. Okay, yeah, you're right. Okay. I'm trying not to
Like,
sound
no, there's
stupid
50.
in this episode.
50. Frank. 6 months, 50.
Like, there's only 365 days in a year. And then I went, oh no, there's only 12 months in a year. Anyway.
Yeah.
He was granted parole in 1970 on good behavior. And
Does his wife stay with him?
good question. Marilyn did divorce Gacy in 1969 because of the crime and conviction.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So so this is really interesting too. At this time, there was no sex offender registry. So if you were a sex offender, your name wasn't being put anywhere. It happened, and then sex offenders were then able to move and start all over. And so this is exactly what Gacy did. He ends up, after his release, he moved back to Illinois and just started over. New location, new reputation, new social circle, and nobody knew who he was or, what he had done at this KFC. So when he did relocate, rather than isolating or being ashamed in any way of what he had done, he just put himself right back out there. People in his social circles described him as charismatic, talkative, and friendly, and he certainly was not hiding in the shadows. He was actively building business relationships and connections while presenting himself once again as dependable and trustworthy. And this is where we start building the story of the pillar of the community. Gacy really starts, creating a long career in life in this, in this town. So, really quick, I want to talk about what most people remember John Wayne Gacy as. And you brought it up actually in the last episode. Do you want to share what you think of the first time you think of Gacy?
A clown.
A clown, right. So yeah, most people remember Gacy as, as a clown. And this isn't entirely incorrect, but it's not, it wasn't his main job, which is what most people think.
Wait, was he really a clown?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. So he had created this character called Pogo the Clown.
Wow, this is even creepier than I thought.
I know. And he would dress up as Pogo the Clown for local charity events, community events, and kids' birthday parties. Now, there is a little bit of a mixing of this, this legendary image. Not to idolize it, but, but yeah, that image. The way that he committed his crimes and murders kind of tied into this. I'll get into it later, but I think that that's why it became so infamous and why it's like, and also it is horrifically terrifying to think like
a clown's coming for me.
A clown's coming for
or
me.
For kids.
Did
he go after kids?
Well, he went after young men and boys. Yeah.
Did he ever commit crimes in the clown outfit?
No. So that's where people are incorrect. Yeah, they think like, oh, he went. Yeah, that was like his. It was like a Joker-esque type of thing. It was not like that. This was a side job, and I think the reason that it's so chilling and iconic is because people are like, oh my god, he was at like children's birthday parties. It's just such a bizarre juxtaposition. No, he was. I would say no, just because
he played his part well. It seems like he knew how to work his way through society, so he couldn't show up at it. You can't go to a kid's birthday party as a clown, and then those kids go missing.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
They're gonna blame the clown.
The clown did it. The clown did it. He looked a little weird.
Who was here last?
He looked a little freaky. But yeah, no. So anyway, so that's the misconception of Gacy. We'll talk more about Pogo the Clown in a little bit, but But that is the misconception. Really, what Gacy did was when he moved back to Illinois, he opened up a contracting business. And this was in the early 1970s. And his contracting business was called PDM Contractors. PDM stood for painting, decorating, and maintenance. And it focused on the construction and remodeling work. Now, the business was based out of Des Plaines, Illinois, where he lived, and he ran the company out of his home on Somerdale Avenue. And from all accounts, the business was very successful. I mean, I don't even want to say from all accounts. Like, it just is that he, became very wealthy, very well known, and he was extremely successful. He employed a lot of people. He networked a lot. He bid on a lot of projects. And from the outside, he looked like he was just a hardworking small business owner trying to make a name for himself. But his company grew rapidly, and so did his reputation.
Was he good?
Good at his job?
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like it. Like,
if his reputation grew fast, maybe he was good at painting, designing, and maintenance.
I think he was more like he was the contractor.
Okay.
Like, he was like the guy that was like telling everybody where to go. Like he was just, I don't think he was actually doing the,
like, not hands-on.
I don't think he was the like hands-on guy. I think he was just the head honcho. Like, okay, we are contracting all these people out, I think. So he, I would say he was a very successful businessman. Okay. I think, now he, as I mentioned before, he joined community organizations. He attended local events. He volunteered a lot. And he became politically active in local Democratic Party organizations in Cook County, Illinois. He volunteered for campaigns and community outreach events, and this involvement gave him access to social circles that automatically made him look credible and trustworthy. He even had photos taken with political figures at the time. One of the most notable people that he had his picture taken with was Rosalind Carter, and she was the first lady at the time. This picture was taken in 1978 at a community event while Jimmy Carter was president. And honestly, this kind of speaks to why I wanted to do John Wayne Gacy today, because I think, he really reminds me of Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, dude, because he's just, yeah, he's got a picture with everybody. Epstein does.
Yeah. And, obviously when we get into the crimes later, it's like, Rosalind Carter, to me, I feel like, oh God, poor Rosalind Carter. Like, it didn't seem like anybody knew about this, but at the same, I don't know. I have my theories. I have my theories.
Oh, are we going to go over theories after this or something?
I have my own theories that I will share.
Segue real quick.
Yeah.
The Clintons are not going to be public. It's private. They said they asked for it to be public, but the courts want them to be private. So February 26th and 27th will be behind closed doors. No watch party.
I'm really upset by this news.
Yeah.
I'm really upset
they
about
know how
this.
to work the media, though. So
they're like, sorry, the courts said no. We tried.
Yeah. It's just going to be like them behind closed doors with like Jeffrey Epstein, John Wayne Gacy.
With a lot of pizza. Sorry.
Yeah,
That was not
nice.
Nice.
Shit.
That was not nice.
I know. I released a clip
nice.
recently, and while talking about how I went from vegan to vegetarian, I was like, I ate a lot of pizza. And I was like, oh, no. I should kind of get that one down. Okay, go ahead.
Get it out of the meat. Oh, yeah. Okay. I can't.
Pizza. That's sorry for pizza. Gets a bad rap.
It really does. Poor pizza. But yeah, I mean, I think it's, again, this moment speaks to it speaks to his ability to know where to stand in the room. Like, even if he's just at this event and Rosalind Carter is there, I definitely, and I feel like this with celebrities too. Like, if you see a celebrity out at an event or something, I mean, not that I'm like at events with celebrities, but like, I guess I think of it more like if you see someone out for dinner, I would not, or just like out on the street, I wouldn't feel comfortable being like, hi, can I take a picture with you? But he had no shame. He was just like kind of in there taking a picture, like with the right people, with the most important people in the room. Shamelessly.
Any other famous people?
Yeah, there were other. I mean, I think that's the most notable person.
Okay.
But he did have photos taken with, I think, several political figures. I just don't know who. I don't have the list, but that was the most notable person. And, I will say that it is reported that there was not a personal relationship or connection between Gacy and the Carters as far as we know. But, again, he knew where to position himself in the room to make himself stand out and seem relevant to the public eye. Now, neighbors and acquaintances did not think he was suspicious in any way. He was visible all the time. And
this makes it seem like, just like a normal serial killer, I guess, that you don't really want to get caught. You want to do what you want to do. It's a full-time job. You want to do what you want to do, and you don't want to get caught.
What's a full-time job?
Being a killer.
Being a killer.
I guess. Right? Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to go out, like, anyone who commits a crime who I guess has this urge of Gacy, it's not like you're just going and most of it's premeditated, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're going to go out there, you're going to scope down watching these documentaries, not saying that I know, but you're scoping them out, you're planning it out, you're going to make sure it's going to be pretty much as perfect as it can be so you don't get caught, right?
Yes. Yes.
Am I allowed to ask, do we know his age when he first murdered someone?
Yeah, he was, when he first murdered someone, I guess we will, because we know the year. Now, the thing is, like, and I'll say this when we get to the victims, these are the first, like, known victims. It's hard to say whether there were others and, and maybe their bodies are somewhere else, but these are the first known victims, and we do have the year of that. Sorry, let me turn my phone on Do Not Disturb because I'm just. Oh, but then it's like I feel rude. They like just texted me, and then I'm gonna be like, Do Not Disturb.
Oh, I didn't even hear it.
Right,
well, as you're doing this, I'd like to know.
Do you want to know the age?
The youngest?
Well, yeah. Well, so he was 26 years old when he did the first sexual offense in 1968. And I think I do have it written down. Let me see about the...
So he's 16 years old? No, dude. Am I bad on math?
No, he's
26.
Yeah, he's 26 years old. Do you listen to me? Yeah. He's 26 years old in 1968.
Yeah.
Right. So the first.
Okay, miss. 18 months equals.
I was listening to
Neither
you.
of
I
us
just
are
wasn't
good at math.
You didn't have to do math. I gave you the answer.
Listening math is hard too.
Yes. So the first known victim was killed in 1972.
Oh, so he was 38 then.
68.
He was 68 years old then.
70, 71,
30.
72. What's 26
30.
plus 4? 30.
Yeah, that one's easy. We can just do 42 to 72.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so he's 30.
Yeah,
I'm going to be 30 in April.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's horrible to think about that too. Also, like, if you look at pictures of him, he was not a good looking 30-year-old. Like, he looked horrible. And
I don't think anyone was then.
Yeah, that's true. I guess they all looked a lot older than we do now. But
yeah, that's a weird one to think about. Why people look so much older back then? You ever see like the NFL? They do like NFL players back in like the 1970s and stuff, and the guy's like 23 years old. Went to University of Texas, and the guy looks like a dad. Yeah, he's like got like a mustache. Yeah. He looks like he's been working the mines for like 30 years.
I mean, we were just watching Grease, and like, I mean, the thing is, the reality is that those actors were way older, but like, it was more accepted to see those, like, you know, like Rizzo, I'm pretty sure was 35 when she was playing an 18-year-old.
Do you watch Euphoria?
No, but
have you ever?
No, it's not my thing. But like, I've seen,
okay.
you know, I've seen like the.
Why is it not your thing?
I just don't. It's like it's rough. It's a rough show.
Oh,
like
it's
really,
very emotional.
Yeah, it's like
Matt
I
and I
don't
just
wanna-
watched. I've watched it already. It's coming out in April again. Rosalia's in it, so I was like, Matt, we gotta watch the show. It comes out like April 15th or something, and we just watched it. It's good.
Yeah, no, I heard it's amazing, and
Zendaya plays
Yeah.
a drug addict, and I get pissed off when I watch drug addicts in movies because I just think they don't do a good job. Two people who do it best. Zendaya fucking crushes it.
Really,
And Euphoria so well. She plays drug addicts so well. And then probably Leonardo DiCaprio on Basketball Diaries. But
wow,
and then honestly, Sydney Sweeney is so fucking good at being crazy. Really, end season 1 and all of season 2. She's so good.
that's cool. Yeah,
It's Sydney Sweeney's best role. But I say that because the one girl who plays Sydney Sweeney's best friend, not really, but is like 30-something years old.
Oh,
she's
okay.
playing an 18-year-old.
Yeah. Wow. But that's interesting. Huh.
Yeah.
It's interesting though because, again, like we just said, we look younger now. But like in Greece, like we look at them and like Rizzo, I'm like, no, she looks like she's older. Like she does not look like she's 18 at all.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll think that later when we watch Euphoria. Later, and I don't know.
No, I think Zendaya's younger in it. She's like probably 20 in the show.
Yeah.
Like when it came out like 5 years ago. So, yeah. Okay. Where were we?
I don't know. Okay. Well, we're kind of on a new
I was asking,
section, so
yeah.
I forget what we were talking about before. I'm sick. Okay.
No, I was asking questions that I was maybe getting ahead of myself. What was his first murder? That's what I asked.
Oh, how old he was? Yeah. Okay.
30.
Yeah. Well, right. He was 30. Okay. Yeah. So, we talked about Pogo the Clown, so I'm not going to go there. Actually, we will talk about it. We're going to go back to it for a little bit. So again, we talked about Pogo the Clown and this character that he created to dress up as for children's parties, charity events, and community gatherings. Now, again, to clarify, he was not a professional circus clown, and he did not do this as a full-time job. It was just a volunteer or hobby persona that he used at events. But the imagery, it stuck, and it is permanently associated with the case in public memory. Now, this also got blended with Gacy's method of killing. And I don't want to too much go into the details, just out of respect, and we don't want to sensationalize anything. But one of the ways that Gacy would lure victims in is with a magic trick. So he would, the men that were at his home, all of these, as far as we know, happened at his home. The men that were at his home, they would drink, like he would get them drunk, and then he would ask if they'd like to see a magic trick. And most commonly, this was a handcuff escape trick. So what he would do is Gacy would carry handcuffs with him and sometimes present them as a joke or, for demonstration. And he would cuff one of his own hands and then quickly free himself with a hidden key. And then in some accounts, he would have others try. Now, once they were restrained, he would then be in control of the situation. I did hear another...
Oh, shit. So he'd handcuff himself, undo the handcuff, and then put the handcuffs on them?
Well, he would be like... He would put the handcuffs on, and then he'd be like, oh, and he would like escape in a magic way. And they'd be like, do you want to try? Like, here, you try. And then he would like cuff them.
All right, I'll try.
Then...
All right. My turn.
Yeah, I want to try. No, that sounds mean. I mean, they were drunk, so it is,
Can't get me.
It's not, you never know.
No, I mean, I don't drink.
Oh.
Can't get me.
Can't get you, that's right. But it's not their fault. It's not their fault. So, I also heard a really gruesome one. I'm not going to share it. But
Wait,
there were
was it
other
John Wayne
ones.
Gacy gruesome?
Yeah, like another thing that he would do, and I don't think I'm gonna. I don't think I'm gonna share it.
Oh.
But it was like the way that
Can you
he would
tell me
actually
after?
kill them. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was the way that he would actually kill them. And this is what's kind of like interesting about it. So there are also reports, and I couldn't find, like, the internet was being really like neutral about all of this. And I was like, no, can you just like, whatever. When I listened to Defense Diaries, Bob Mata was also talking about how Gacy struggled with like alcohol abuse, drug abuse, and he had like different prescription drug addictions. So I'm pretty sure is Valium one.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he like would take a lot of Valium.
That's a good one.
Okay. He took a lot of Valium. I don't know about opioids, but like but Valium I know was like one that he took a copious amount of, and that he had in his possession. And you know, so so the reason I bring this up is because, you know, once these like people were like handcuffed, these victims were handcuffed, then the way that Gacy would commit the murder, it didn't take a lot of brute force. It was like a very specific way that essentially, like, again, didn't take a lot of force. So if he was like high or drunk, he was still able to do it. And you know, I'm pretty sure he made reports of like, you know, blacking out, and you know, he was like in and out of the situation, and then they would be dead, and then he's like, oh, then what do I do? And then, you know, like, so these were his reports. But
Wait, his reports, like would he document his killings?
no, so this was, again, like, this was in the interviews that then, you know, were
Would
with
he
the
always
lawyer.
murder under the influence?
I don't know about always, but a lot of them were supposedly, yeah. And it's hard because, like, you know, people, and this is where like the internet was like cautious, because it's like a lot, you know, this information is coming from Gacy's accounts, directly from his accounts. So how reliable is it?
Should be reliable.
Yeah, but like,
did he tell the truth in the end?
I mean, I don't know.
Did he die? Did he get stabbed in jail?
No, I'll tell you though.
Okay, sorry.
I'll tell you what happens. No.
Sorry, I'm skipping the victims. Sorry.
No, yeah, we have to talk about them. It's important. Now, so anyway, kind of just circle back to the point of that whole conversation. That's why I think Pogo the Clown is stamped in everyone's brain, you know, when they think about this case. Now, we are going to talk about the timeline of the crimes. And again, I'm not going to get into too graphic detail, but we are going to... What was that? Was that my computer?
Maybe.
Whoa. That was weird. All right, anyway. There were 33 victims that we know of. I'm going to talk about 3 today.
Okay.
For very specific
Your
reasons.
favorites? Or
Stop it. It's not funny. Not funny. No. There are 3. So I'm going to talk about the first known victim, the last known victim, and the third known victim.
Oh.
Now, most of the crimes associated with John Wayne Gacy occurred between 1972 and 1978 in Chicago and suburban Illinois area, like Des Plaines. The victims were primarily teenage boys and young men, many of whom were runaways, job seekers, and individuals who were more vulnerable at the time. And they could have been more vulnerable for reasons like they didn't have a strong support system around them, whether it was family, friends, etc. Maybe they didn't have a secure job and they were, you know, seeking a job through Gacy's contracting company. And this sadly contributed to the delayed investigations and less immediate urgency from authorities in the early years of the murders. And Gacy was very calculated and intentional in that way.
Gosh, man, I just like picture someone hunting down another human being.
Ugh, I know.
Gosh.
I know, it's horrific. And this is why I don't think they were, you know, that when you asked me about whether he was like looking at birthday parties, he was specifically targeting people who would not be looked for.
That's sad too.
At least in the beginning. It's horrible. I know. For everyone watching, Frank is smiling out of discomfort. He's laughing and smiling out of discomfort.
It's just sad too. They
horrible.
got nobody,
No, I know. It's really
Now
sad.
they definitely don't have anybody. Just
What'd you say over there? I can't. Shut up.
now they definitely don't have anybody. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, it's not funny. Okay.
All right, go ahead. So are we going to touch on the first victim?
Yeah. So we're going to talk about the first known victim, and his name was Timothy McCoy. In 1972, McCoy had been traveling through Chicago, and he was just passing through. At this time, he was 16 years old. And it is said that as he was passing through, this is when he encountered Gacy. And again, it is important to note that the report of this encounter is based entirely on Gacy's own account. After he had been caught and now, in these interviews with his lawyer and law enforcement and things like that. So, yeah. And here's what he said happened. Gacy claimed that he encountered McCoy at or near a bus terminal, and he offered him a place to stay for the night. McCoy, according to Gacy, accepted this invitation, and this wasn't unusual at the time for young travelers who were trying to save money or finding temporary lodging. And Gacy reports that the next morning there was a misunderstanding which escalated into violence. And in 1972, Timothy McCoy was declared a missing person and the case went cold. Now, McCoy was a young traveler, so immediate investigation pressure was reduced and there was no strong last seen trail tying him to Gacy at the time. And these statements, again, came out in interviews after all of the victims were found. So, police didn't question Gacy at all. Timothy McCoy just disappeared. And that was it. So that was the first known victim.
So he gets caught and goes to jail and already gets a sentence and then starts talking?
No. He gets arrested. Well, I'll really go into the details of that. That's why there's so many layers to this because of, the outcome and everything. But no. This came out between the time of his arrest and him going to jail. This information. These are the interviews that he's having with his lawyer. And so the trial is going to happen basically before the trial.
He starts admitting?
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Okay.
Now, third known victim. His name is John Budkovich. And John's case is a major turning point in Gacy's pattern and timeline because he was not a random stranger passing through town. Budkovich, sorry, I didn't mean to stutter on that. Budkovich was 18 years old in 1975 and actually worked for Gacy's contracting company. And this is wild to me because John Budkovich disappeared in 1975 after confronting Gacy about unpaid wages. And this is so significant and insane because Gacy is very clearly the last person to see him before his disappearance. And even though it doesn't seem like a crazy, motive, there is still some form of motive, these unpaid
pay him anymore.
wages. Yeah. Whatever it was. Yeah. So to me, it's why wasn't he more heavily investigated at the time? And what makes it even crazier is that this boy's family confronted Gacy face to face. They actually went up to him and they were asking him, "What did you do with our son?"
Oh.
Yes.
He's such a pillar of the society, so maybe he's not questioned as much because they just truly wouldn't believe that he would do it. But what would make the family question him?
I mean, he's the last person. John, I'm going to call him John B. because I don't want to keep screwing up his name, and we don't want him to be.
We don't want you stuttering again.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, but anyway, so John B is like, hey, I gotta go get my money. I gotta go get my money. I'm gonna go to his house. Oh, that's an important detail. He goes to his house.
John Wayne Gacy's house.
Yes, to confront him about the wages, and he never comes home. And what Gacy tells law enforcement is, oh yeah, he came and he, confronted me about the wages, but I paid him and he left. He just left. And at the time, if someone went missing, and there was no clear signs of foul play, then the person was just categorized as a voluntary runaway. Voluntary runaways. Yeah. Okay. So that was common protocol. But, I just think what's really sad about, and this is why I really wanted to talk about the, John B. specifically, is because, for a few reasons. One, again, it's a turning point in the pattern. John Wayne Gacy is starting to get a little bit more comfortable. He's, now killing people that are his own employees. And he's getting a little bit more confident, I think. And he also, what's also really important is that if the police had looked into this a little bit further, it possibly could have saved 30 more lives.
Well, it also sounds like it's the first one that he gets confronted about.
Yes.
But that's super soon in the 33.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but it's also going to grow your confidence to get away with it. To just be able to have the speak to say, no, I don't know. And get away with it.
I know.
Now you're going to be building that kind of confidence up.
Yeah. And
yeah.
It makes me this case more than the others, more than any of the others, really makes me wonder if John Wayne Gacy paid someone off or if there was something more behind it. Because again,
paid him his wages? Paid somebody?
No. Paid off the police.
Oh. Yeah, the guy's wages.
No. No, he's like, no.
This is what I owe John B.
Yeah, this is what I owe John B. Sorry, I didn't give it to him. No, if they paid off the police. Because to say, okay, they can't investigate further unless foul, there are clear signs of foul play existing. This to me is ridiculous. You have a person with, who's the last person to see him, and the family is coming out and being like, this person did something. Again, there's a slight form of motive. You could I'm not an expert here, but I'm pretty sure that that's enough to get a warrant. And so the fact that they didn't get a warrant and they didn't push for that.
It seems fishy, you're saying.
Yeah, it's either lazy or fishy. Don't know which one, but it's one of the two.
Okay. So now we're going to talk about the last one?
So now we're going to talk about the final known victim. And this is Robert Piest. Now, Bob Motto Jr., in his podcast Defense Diaries, he kind of describes Robert Piest as the wrong victim, we'll say. He was a 15-year-old kid who was very popular in the community. He was well known. He was hardworking. And this is finally what triggered serious law enforcement scrutiny. Now, in 1978, Robert Piest was 15 years old from Des Plaines, Illinois, and he was working at a local pharmacy. And one night, on the night of Piest's disappearance, which was December 11th, 1978, it was his mother's birthday, and he was working the night shift at the pharmacy. Now, he and his mom, they had plans to celebrate her birthday when he came home from work that night, but he never came home. And, of course, this raised alarm in the household. So instead, this is what happened. John Wayne Gacy came into the pharmacy that night, and because Rob Peast was a go-getter, he recognized Gacy and decided to go ask him if there were any openings at his construction company for a summer job. Robert told coworkers that he would be right back, but he never returned.
Dude, imagine walking up. You don't even know you're talking to a mass murderer.
They say that you walk by like 5 murderers in your lifetime, like on the street.
Does that include the military people, or just like 5 serial killers? I walk by 5 serial killers in my lifetime.
I don't think it includes like military. I don't think that. I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
Do you think you've ever encountered anyone looking a little suspicious?
Trying to think back of my crazy days. There's definitely some crazy characters. I walked into this trailer one time to go pick up, and this guy's name was Shane, and there's a line like going through his double wide in like North St. Augustine, and he was just this crazy looking dude, and he had in his hand, well, it was like sitting on the counter, was that like 9-inch blade with a brass knuckle for the handle. And he just looked like one of the, I don't know, he just looked like one of those guys that he ended up going to jail shortly after this.
Oh.
And then he ends up, he's friends with a friend. That's how I know him. He ends up going to jail. And then he ends up getting this apartment like right across the bridge in St. Augustine, go over the Bridge Alliance from the downtown to like the Anastasia Island. And I'm there to go pick up some pills, and I'm pretty broke at this time. Life's not going too well. And I'm up in his like apartment with his girlfriend and whatnot. And I'm there for a good little while, maybe 35, 45 minutes. And right as I leave, I go to drive home, and the one girl that I knew him from is like, you got to put on the news. Dude, the SWAT team comes through his windows.
Oh, whoa,
all through his windows.
Whoa.
Right there. And she's like, turn on the news, and it's his pictures on there. His picture's girlfriend's up there, and like apparently a couple other people that were in the house. There was a meth lab in there. I had no idea.
Oh my God.
So he's back in jail.
Yeah.
After this.
Yeah.
Then he shows up on my doorstep like 6 months or a year later.
Oh my God, get out of here.
Yeah. And no, I greet him like back because I'm a little scared. I'm a little afraid of the guy.
Yeah.
And I was having to get drugs from Florida to Pennsylvania at the time, and he's like showing me how I can like pack the things all up.
Oh my goodness
gracious. Yeah, that guy was the only guy I thought maybe he could have killed somebody.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Yeah, my brain goes immediately to who do I think of in our community as like a John Wayne Gacy character.
Like a pillar?
Like a pillar to killer type of person. I mean, thankfully I can't really think of anyone. So that's good, but
yeah, I don't know. So Gacy kills this kid, 15 years old, and now they investigate him because of this, or?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Oh, wait, time out. He goes, sorry, I cut you off though, but he goes into the pharmacy. The kid asked him in the pharmacy if you're looking for a job.
He leaves the pharmacy to go ask him for a job, and he never returns. But he has said to his coworkers, hey, I'll be right back. I just got to go ask him really quick.
Oh, so John Wayne Gacy got way too cocky.
Yeah. Oh my God. And also, I'm pretty sure that this is a detail spoken about in Defense Diaries, but I'm pretty sure his mom was waiting for him to pick him up. Like she had come to pick him up from work, and they were going to go out. And so, this is like clear to investigators, like, okay, he had the intention of coming home. This is a good kid, who is a hardworking kid. And I mean, we can really get into this conversation.
Do it.
It's just very picky and choosy.
What's picky and choosy?
The police. Of that time? Now we're gonna investigate.
Oh God, I thought you were about to start crying.
Like again, no, it's just like again, like John Butkovich, Jesus Christ, John B. was, also like loved by his family and expected home. This is 30.
Did they
people
ever look
ago.
into it again later? No,
not John Gacy.
Yeah, but the Bukoviches, did they?
Yeah, they continue to search for him. They continue to, press police about it. And it just is like, and not even just him, but then now we're talking about, again, this is why I brought this up and why I brought up the Bucks County boys, the 4 boys that went missing in Bucks County just a few years ago. And 4 boys go missing and it becomes national news. You now have, in the span of 5 years, 33 boys, and some of them are important. They're not all they're not all don't have people that know who they are. Yeah. And so it's like, even 2 of them going missing, it's like,
wait, all in the same town?
yes, all in the same suburban area, same town, same area. I honestly,
That's 6 a year.
Yes. And the police have no idea. I don't buy it at all.
Anywhere else that happening in America?
No.
6 kids. Wait, they all around the ages of 15 and 16?
They're all
Younger guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. And now I know you're not going over the other 30, but do you know anything about the other 30?
I don't today, but the Defense Diaries again has 33 episodes on each. He talks about almost every single one of them.
When he gets caught because of this kid, because of
essentially,
Pete,
Robert Peast, yeah.
Why? Because his family went to the cops?
It's it's one of those things. Yeah, why? Why now? Honestly, essentially, and this is kind of why.
And this is the receipt in the pocket thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So here's my thing. I guess I'll just share my theory before I even say anything. I don't know. Actually, I don't want to. I'm going to just share the information and then we'll get back to it. But yes. So again, it's kind of the idea of the wrong victim. Okay, now you've taken the popular kid that everybody knows and loves, and now it's not cool. And this finally triggers law enforcement to really, really go after John Wayne Gacy. And now here's where there are some of the evidence things. So there's a situation of a jacket mix-up. On the night of his disappearance, Robert ran out of the pharmacy so quickly, right? He goes, hey, I'm going to go catch Mr. Gacy really quick and ask him for a summer job. I'll be right back. And he grabs a jacket. He grabs his coworker's jacket instead of his own jacket. So now Rob Peast's jacket is now still in the pharmacy. There's also some speculation around this because there are also stories that he had lent his coworker his jacket because she was cold while they were working. And so then he just ran out without his own jacket. And there was a specific receipt that was found in the pocket of this jacket that was very important. And again, this is kind of where the internet failed me because there are, since Defense Diaries has come out and there have been, there's been new claims and conversations around these pieces of evidence. I think the internet is changing, I'm I just want to know what happened back then, what was said, what was happened, what was found here, what was found there. And it's still very wishy-washy. And this is also because there wasn't a specific chain of custody with these pieces of evidence. And that's really important. Now we're really quick. We're going to jump to the first search of Gacy's home. Now, this did occur after Rob Peast's disappearance. And they get a warrant to search the house. And again, I'm okay, so this boy goes missing. It's literally the same as John B., where it's you had a situation where a boy goes missing. John Wayne Gacy's the last known person to see him, and now we get a search warrant. Again, it's that's enough to get a warrant, and they didn't get one. I think drives me nuts. Anyway, so they go in with the search warrant, and they are looking for clothing or personal belongings belonging to Robert Peast, and evidence of recent contact or documents or items tying Gacy to the pharmacy interaction. So they're just like looking for, like, we just need proof that he was at that pharmacy on that night. That's what they're looking for. While investigators were there, several investigators report noticing a strong, unpleasant odor in parts of the house, particularly near areas connected to the basement or the crawl space. And in that moment, officers could not immediately identify the source. However, hindsight is 2020, and now they know that it was all of the victims.
Wait, he kept all the victims at his house?
Oh, yeah. They were all buried beneath the home in his crawl space and in the basement.
Are you serious?
Uh-huh.
God, you have 33 dead bodies in your basement?
Yeah, they were like, some of them were like beneath like the kitchen, like the dining room table. Like they were like beneath, yeah.
What do you mean?
Like in the floor.
Like he lifted up the wood and put them in there? Did he have any like lime or something like that? Did he break down their bodies anyway?
I think so. I'm not sure.
He was
that
asking
detail.
to be caught. He was a clown.
What a clown.
Yeah, what a clown, dude.
He had them, like, I believe that there was one or two victims who were also out buried beneath, like, he had this like outdoor grill space where he would like host parties, and I'm pretty sure that they were like buried beneath the grill. Really sick.
You would really just choose a spot and bury him.
Yeah, but like those are the three like specific spots.
Sounds like a cat or a dog just burying a bone. Seriously. I'll put him in the flower pot. Yeah. Wait, so would he kill them all the same way, or you said bludgeoning?
He would. Most of them were strangled, or suffocated.
Oh, really? Oh, so no like ritual to it. I have watched like little things where people are like, when you like murderers have talked about strangling someone, and they said that there's like this feeling when you can watch the life being taken away from them, that they like gain something.
Yeah.
Like they gain like a force.
Yeah. Well, what's so like weird about like Gacy is that he claims that he was, again, like blacked out in a lot of these moments. So it's kind of like, he's not even like remembering or claiming to remember those moments. So it doesn't even sound like he's getting like, I mean, I'm sure he did, but it doesn't sound like he's like reliving and like soaking in like that moment. He's like, I do think he was gay. I think that he had this repressed situation going on, and I think there were also there are people who have experiences with Gacy that went home, like made it out alive.
Gacy. Oh.
It's making sense. So
Gacy. That's why I did it.
Gacy.
Oh, jeez, we figured it out.
Yes, names matter. No, sorry, but there were people who made it out alive, like after interactions with him and like partying at his house before, but like they'll walk away and be like, oh yeah, like he hit on, like he like was very weird towards me, and like it was very scary, and then I left and I like never went over his house again. And I think there was like requests for intercourse, or some like yeah, I think that if I really am analyzing Gacy, I think that was the root of it. But
closeted gay?
Yeah,
was the root of his problems?
I mean, I don't want to say the root of his problems, but I think he was. Yeah, I think he had a repressed thing, and like it.
Did he have a wife or kids or anything?
Not it.
Oh, he got married and then divorced.
Yeah. Wait, I think he had. Wait.
Did he have a son?
Let me look it up. Yeah, he had a son.
So he had a kid.
Yeah, he had a son, and oh my god, he had a son and a daughter. Let me look
Gacy,
up if he.
Gacy had 2 kids?
Yeah. Oh my God, you don't listen to me.
No, I just need to be reminded. No, I don't think you mentioned that part yet.
Yes, I did. It was in the very beginning.
Oh.
When he married Marilyn Myers,
Oh,
and they had
hour.
2 children.
Oh, they had 2 children.
An hour ago. Sorry.
Oh, well, that's why.
Hold on. Let me look this up because, all right, it's over here. All right.
That'd be either the best or the worst murder ever. They'd be like, "Where's the body?" I'd be like, "I don't remember, dude." I'll be like, "Fuck, where's the body?"
You're like, oh my God.
like,
I can't even
someone's
remember where I
gonna
put my.
find it,
I can't even remember where I put my keys half the time.
Where did I put the dead body? Bro?
Yeah, like oh yeah, so he did. Oh yeah, okay. All right, let me just read this because so he had a second wife, Carol Hoff, and they got married in 1972. So
Oh, so it was her.
what?
That was the first murder year. Because I listened. So it was the first year of murders.
Yes. What was her? What are you talking about?
She
She
did something.
No, stop it. So they is apparently Carol. This is Carol Hoff, and they were friends in high school. And she had 2 daughters from a previous relationship, and Gacy and Carol did not have any children together. They separated in 1975, and the divorce was finalized in 1976. But this is, during the time of the murders, and it says the marriage reportedly deteriorated due to Gacy's increasing odd behavior, heavy drinking, long hours away from home, and tension surrounding his business and lifestyle. And Carol later stated that she noticed changes in him, but did not have any knowledge of the crimes at the time.
Did you ever hear of the murder? He was a hitman called the Iceman.
Maybe it sounds familiar.
He was a mafia hitman. And I think, let's look up how many known murders the Iceman had. But basically, he was a normal dude. How many murders did the Iceman have? Murders did the Iceman have? Okay, so basically, he is... Okay. Crazy number. You can guess in a second. So basically, the Iceman, he's a mafia hitman and known for how many murders do you think?
I'm going to say 42.
200.
Holy shit.
But then he would just go home to his family.
Yeah.
And have this normal life. And they have a movie about him. And, but no one knew that he was this crazy murderer. He was convicted of 6 murders, claimed to have killed over 100. But other times he's claimed to have killed over 200.
Mafia is an interesting subsect of, to me, the mind part of it, because I feel like there's kind of it's like it's a whole different world. It's a different, that feels more normalized in that culture.
At least he had his motive was money and I guess a job, right? The Iceman.
Sure, yeah.
Where Gacy it could be repress something,
Yeah. And drug abuse and, and mental illness and so much. I mean, and it's completely, like you said, it's it is very different than a mafia mindset where it's more a job oriented, and it's more normalized. And
if I had the urges that John Wayne Gacy, wow, this is actually, they made a show about this, I'd go into something. I'd maybe go be a sniper in the military. You know what I mean? Where it's acceptable. Or would I go be a hitman or an assassin?
Yeah. Well, that's why, again, it's not the killing. I don't think it's sexual.
You ever watch Dexter?
Yeah. Oh, I've just heard of it. Everyone tells me I have to watch it.
It was my favorite show for a long time. But he's born in, his dad is a cop and he was adopted. And, he has this urge to kill, and his dad starts to notice him killing animals and things like that when he's a child. Mm-hmm. And so his dad gives him this code to live by, that if you're going to actually kill people, I can't stop you, because dad's a cop, so he's seen this in other murders.
Oh my God.
He goes, we're gonna create this code for you to live by, and You can only kill people basically who have gotten away with murder.
Wow.
So that's what Dexter is. He goes in
Interesting.
and he kills people who have slipped through the cracks of the criminal system. So that's really who Dexter's killing. And then he hunts them down. But he also ends up being a blood splatter analyst for the Miami PD. So he's working so he knows who's slipping through the cracks.
Right.
And then he hunts them down. And then kind of lures them in. And then he creates this whole room, this kill room, in their house most of the time or wherever. And then he kills them, and he knows exactly how to drain the blood, separate the bodies, and all this stuff.
Wow.
But he's an example of if you have the urge to kill, he used it for what he believed was good.
Right.
And you get a little backstory of everybody's killing. Like this person raped and murdered so-and-so and all these individuals. And they got off because of some scrutiny in the system.
Yeah.
So now he goes and kills them.
Huh. Yeah. No, I would like to watch that show. It's really interesting. And I again, kind of just think like hearing that it kind of continues to support my thought that it wasn't about the killing for Gacy. It just was like he had this crazy secret. And at the end of the day, it's like if you are like I think the killing became like he had no way out. It's like, well, I've now done this and I have to kill them and I have to hide them and I have to be normal, because he had this big secret. And it was just like, it was a sexual thing for him.
You would think a construction guy, I don't know if he dealt with concrete, but you would think a construction guy would hide the bodies differently.
Well, that's really interesting that you say that because they actually have... There was, I believe it's an ice rink that was built by Gacy's construction company. And this is in Defense Diaries as well, where Bob Mata talks about there are people who worked on that project who noticed things were a little bit like different than other projects that they worked on. For example, a concrete wall was put in and it was basically like, let's say, and I'm just throwing out numbers here, I don't know the exact numbers, but the construction worker was like, yeah, there was just something weird about this wall because I've been doing this a long time and I know the measurements of what this wall really needed to be. He's like, but Gacy insisted on it being like 6 feet deeper than it needed to be.
Oh
or
my God,
thicker.
You think there's
or
just like a person in the walls of...
They think that... So Bob Mata Jr. has proposed that they think that there are more victims and they are working supposedly in the last episodes that I was listening to, they are supposedly working to bring this to the police and to, get evidence to search it. But what's really difficult about that is, they with it being concrete and under the foundation of a ginormous building, they need to tear down the building.
Wait, do you know how Gacy died?
Yeah.
How did he die?
Well, we didn't even get it into the second search of the house.
Oh, okay. Go into the second search.
Okay, so what was recovered on the first search? Various identification cards belonging to young males, handcuffs, and police-style paraphernalia, books and materials related to law enforcement, and other suspicious but not yet conclusive items. And now we're going to get into the receipt discovery. Now, after Robert didn't return home, they get this search warrant, and officers are searching the pharmacy area, trash receptacles, and the house. And they end up finding in Gacy's trash, they find a receipt from the pharmacy that is the same date that Robert went missing. So they find this receipt. And then this is where a lot of this is where it's wonky, because supposedly the story went, back in 1978, that the police found this receipt in the trash inside the home, which gave them the go-ahead to get the second warrant to go back into the house. But what Bob Mata Jr. ended up discovering is that the receipt was not found inside the house. And they actually think that this receipt was placed potentially in the trash outside of the house, like in proximity. Like they knew of this receipt and they then used it as like the smoking gun to get the second warrant. And they kept this secret now for like 50 years. And if that had been discovered, then it's possible, and this is what Bob Mata Jr. proposes, it's possible that all of the evidence that was then found in the second search would have had to been thrown out in the eyes of the court, which would have been, that would have meant that all 30, the bodies of all 33 victims, like that was the evidence that was found in the second search. So, there's like speculation around that, and it's not like, I can't say for sure that that's what happened. I think at this point, nobody can really say for sure. But that, like, Bob Mata talks about how it's really important that this conversation is had because, obviously, like, we don't want this to be happening. We don't want evidence to be planted against anyone. And
Bob Mata is the detective, right?
He's the defense attorney that he's the son of John Wayne Gacy's defense attorney that discovered this he discovered this because the chain of custody, it was like there was no chain of custody written about this receipt.
So why is the defense attorney involved in the investigation?
Well, okay, well, let's jump to the trial because this will kind of clear things up. So the defense attorney on John Wayne Gacy's case was Bob Mata Sr. So the podcast guy's dad.
Yeah.
And they claimed that Gacy was, they claimed insanity. So because they did that, the attorneys didn't have to go through every shred of evidence. And so they didn't have to look at the chain of custody of this evidence. They never said he didn't commit these crimes. They were like, we can't even go there at this point. They were like, he did it, but we're going to say that he was, clinically insane at the time of the murders.
But someone really had a feeling that he did it, so like we got to plan something there, possibly.
So that's also part of my theory. I think like there was again, if we go all the way back to victim number 3, and this could have been, they had the same, like, they could have gotten a warrant back then and they didn't, which leads me to think that there was there was a bigger reason why they didn't, whether they were paid off or they just were like, we're just going to look the other way for whatever reason, or maybe it was laziness. And 30 more boys go missing. To me, it screams that someone in the police department was like, we cannot let this go on any further. Like, we need to take him down, and we need to do it in a smart way because he's powerful. Like and that's what I think too. I think that's why it led to such like a wonky, like, chain of custody situation. And because they were like, he's good at this. He's been doing it for a long time. Like, I think that he was on their radar for way longer than they claim. And it doesn't make any sense to me that 33 young boys are going to go missing I don't want to say like because it was Chicago and like the suburban areas. It's not necessarily a small town like Bristol or Yardley, but it's like I mean, if we include like Philadelphia and the surrounding areas. I mean, I was in Philadelphia when the boys from Bucks County went missing, and everybody heard about it and everybody knew about it. Like, you know, I think it doesn't make any sense that this was not being talked about all the time, and, you know, fear wasn't rampant in the area, and I think that someone inside the system was like, we've got to take him down. Like, we know it's him and we need to take him out.
Yeah, I gotta watch this documentary or something on him to like figure out. Someone had to be up on him.
Right? I think so.
Just the fact of that amount of kids or victims going missing in 6 years, 72 to 78, is in that area. Like, does he ever talk about, are you done with the second investigation part?
Yeah.
Does he ever talk about like why he has these impulses?
He might in the interviews. I don't have it here, but he might. I mean, it is really interesting to hear because, you know, Bob Motta, he plays the tapes like in the podcast, so you can like, you know, you hear him talking about it.
Is it
himself.
eerie to hear his voice?
Yeah.
I mean, I would think he had to be possessed by a demon or something to be
Yeah.
able to kill that many people. Like, you got to be like, is there someone else in his head telling him to do these murders?
Well, it's a good question. So the defense claimed that Gacy suffered from severe psychological disorders. They argued that he was legally insane at the time of the crimes, and they presented psychiatric experts who testified that he had personality disorders and was detached from reality during certain periods of time. But the prosecution, you know, they acknowledged that he had psychological issues, but emphasized that he understood right from wrong at the time of the murders. He planned and concealed his actions, and he maintained a business and social life simultaneously. And the core stance was that mental illness does not automatically equal legal insanity. And, you know, I do agree with that. I agree with what, you know, ultimately what the prosecution was saying. Like, the fact that he was deliberately, like, he had a method. He had a method. Like, he knew to target individuals who were, you know, maybe drifters or, you know, didn't have a support system. He knew to hide them. He knew how to hide them. I think where he started to get sloppy was like where he started drinking, like kind of where, you know, his second marriage starts to fall apart, where like, you know, he's drinking a lot, he's on Valium a lot, like he's out long nights. Like, now he's starting to get like, you know, he's starting to get
Well, if you're mixing, from my understanding, if you're mixing Valium and alcohol, you do black out easily. Yeah, it's like mixing Xanax and alcohol. It's like instant blackout.
Yeah, that's what he claims. He claims that he was like blacked out for a lot of them, and then he would wake up and they'd be dead. And
I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. These are people's lives we're talking about, but like, that would suck to wake up. I had a roommate one time. Woke up, robbed a pharmacy. Well, he was a roommate in like a halfway house, and he was in the halfway house because he was facing years in jail on Xanax. Robs a pharmacy. Wakes
he didn't
up,
remember it?
not at gunpoint. And that's his court case. Is the cops show up to his house and he's got all these pills and stuff in his room, and he wakes up and had no idea that he robbed a pharmacy at gunpoint.
It's like, it's so scary to me because it really shows you how different a person can be, like, on, you know, the drugs and the alcohol. Like, because I feel like we all kind of claim like, oh no, like, I'm in control, I know what I'm doing, and then it's like you hear these stories of like people being completely different people, and like, it's not like they're just stumbling off into a bush. They're doing extremely difficult tasks like robbing a pharmacy at gunpoint, and you're like, how'd you do that?
How did I do it?
Yeah, like, I
wish I could tell you.
Yeah.
Another roommate. He's actually been here. Gets kicked out of University of Georgia pharmacy for stealing, and then gets kicked out of the University of Kentucky's pharmacy, or it's one or the other. One happened first. They show up to his house, and he had robbed that pharmacy and had over 5,000 pills.
Holy shit.
Yeah, didn't remember it.
Oh my God, wait, can I tell you a funny story? on
Yeah,
this
of course.
topic. a little tension breaker. We on this topic, I walk into Rite Aid one day and I'm trying to get my prescription, and there's this guy standing next to me at the counter, and the pharmacy like looks at the guy, and it became clear that like he worked for the pharmacy, and she's like, hey, like, what's up, what do you need? And he's like, yeah, I just had this really weird situation. And the pharmacist was like, all right, spit it out. Like, what do you want? And he's like, and it becomes clear now that he delivers medication to people's homes. And he's like, yeah, I just had this really weird situation. Like a block away, there's like this old lady who I just delivered. I was delivering medication to her, but I was holding the other bags of medication because he was kind of like, he was going to go right next door, right, for the next delivery.
Okay.
So he's holding multiple orders of medication, and the old woman, opens the door and she goes, all right. She takes hers and she goes, those are mine. And he goes, no, they're not. She's like, yeah, they are. She's like, let me show, they're mine. Like, let me see. And he goes, he's like, okay, and shows her the name. And she snatches him and goes in the house and shuts the door and locks the doors. And he's like, hey lady, open up, It's like, wait a second. And now, she's like stolen these medication. But like, what was really funny, and I'm overhearing this, and like, I can never mind my own business in this scenario.
I wouldn't.
So yeah.
I would. Tell me more.
No, I was like, here.
Let's investigate.
Well, I was like, I said, okay, I'm the guy. I'll call the police. I'm a big 911er. I'm like, if you have a problem, call the police. My parents raised me as that. They're like, that's what they're there for. And of course, like there's a lot of layers to that. And so
I understand.
Yeah, but they're like, call the police when you have a problem. So I said to them, so I like giving that confidence to others. I'm like, hey, she stole the medication. Like, you call the police. And they're like, yeah, but like it's an old woman and it doesn't really feel like an emergency. But where it becomes an emergency is like the people who are getting their medication delivered, like they are, like they can't go and pick it up. So it is an emergency to them. Like they might need this today. Like they might need it right now. So I was like, no, you should call. So then I put myself in the mix, and then I'm helping them find the non-emergency number of the local police station, and and then I don't know what ended up happening,
unless the driver took him and he's blaming it on the old woman.
Oh
yeah.
Oh geez. Well,
those cars, I used to wonder, they would be like wrapped in like pretty much like I'm the drug delivery person, you know what I'm saying, like so and so pharmacy. Those cars used to be like wrapped in like.
Oh, the cars.
Yeah, like drug drop offs.
Oh, well, that's not good.
Yeah, I'd be like, if I was a drug dealer or just a drug addict, well, in my drug, like I'd be like, it's pretty much an ATM for me.
Wow.
Like
I mean,
I'd be like, hey, what's in the car?
Oh my gosh, and I never thought about it that way, but yeah, that's scary.
I feel like it's a moving target. It's a Brinks truck of drugs,
Jeez, Lord. Well, I forget where we were.
We finished up the second investigation.
Wait.
Now,
I know where we are. Wait, oh god, I fucked up. I hate this.
But okay.
Wait, well, we were talking about the course stands. Oh yeah, okay. We're on the trial.
Okay,
and
cool.
the verdict.
All right, I want to know.
Yeah. So the trial began February 1980. It lasted about 5 weeks, and then when the jury deliberated, it took about 2 hours for them to make their decision. And some people were like shocked by that, but it just shows how strong the evidence was against him. And the verdict came on March 13th, 1980, and the outcome was that John Wayne Gacy was guilty on all 33 counts of murder, and the jury rejected the insanity defense. Now, his sentencing, he was sentenced to the death penalty, and he was sent to Menard Correctional Center at Menard Correctional Center, which was a maximum security prison. He ended up spending 14 years on death row, and throughout that time, he filed a bunch of appeals, but they were all denied. It's like so, talk about like insanity. Like, he's like, I didn't do it.
Oh,
My
appeals to
Lord.
the death penalty or appeals to his conviction?
I think to the death penalty. I think I'm just being dramatic.
I'd probably just want to go. If I'm sitting on death row, I'd be like, just hurry it up.
Yeah, he's also sitting there for 14 years. And
Wait, did he get to the death penalty?
yeah.
Oh, he did? How did they do it?
Yeah, so his execution happened on May 10th, 1994 by lethal injection.
Was it televised?
I don't know. And this was at
lethal injection.
Stateville Correctional Center in Illinois. Do you want to know what his last meal was?
Was it fried chicken?
Kentucky Fried Chicken.
I'm fucking right.
Yeah, you are right. It was Kentucky or KFC style fried chicken in a bucket, French fries, strawberries, and a Coke.
I would choose that too, though.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
I love fried chicken.
It really is it's so it's like a movie, you know.
Yeah, like
So
it's a
full
nod
circle.
to where it all began.
Yeah, it's so fucked up. There are two people that I want to bring up really quick.
Yeah.
We talked about his wife, his second wife who lived with him during that time. There are also two young boys who were also employees of his that were living with him in and out of this time period. Their names were David Cram and Philip Pasquet. I don't know how to say it, but both of them lived at the home within this time. Now, David Cram, neither of them actually were ever charged in relation to the murders with anything. And David Cram specifically largely faded from public attention, and there was no major criminal record tied to him connected to the Gacy case, and he ended up going on to live a private life. Philip P., we'll say, because I can't say the last name, ended up struggling with personal and legal issues after the Gacy murders. There is speculation around whether it was related or unrelated, but he ended up dying in 1998 at a relatively young age. And I think in Defense Diaries, they talk about I think he possibly ended up taking his own life, but even that is speculated. Not sure. Now, he was never charged, but to the public eye, he was treated more than David Cram was treated as a peripheral figure in the case, but not as a co-participant, more as just again, he was in the house for longer than David Cram was. Yeah. So there's a lot of ambiguity surrounding this part of the story and these statements. There are also conversations of one of these individuals potentially having connections in politics, high up in, having high connections in politics. So I can't say confidently which one it was. I highly recommend, if there's a lot of interest in the case, I highly recommend listening to Defense Diaries and, listening to Bob Mata and Jr. He's amazing. I would fangirl if I ever met him.
Oh.
Yeah. I think he's so intelligent and
Is
amazing.
that all he's ever dropped is just the 33 episodes?
No, he has a second season at least where he talks about and then he has side episodes where he talks about other cases. But Bob Mata Sr., was the defense attorney for John Wayne Gacy. Now Bob Mata Jr. also became a defense attorney.
Oh.
And he was the defense attorney for Dr. Anthony Garcia. Do you know about that case?
No.
So that was a really wild case, and he says this in the beginning. Dr. Anthony Garcia does sit on death row, so he did not win the case, but he is not really sure if he believes that he committed the murders. He was accused of 6 murders, at least 6, and and he was his defense attorney. So in season 2, he goes very deep into that case.
So he thinks that this Anthony Garcia guy's innocent?
I wouldn't go so far as to say that, but there was another individual, like there was another suspect that he feels very strongly about, and I think he just says it's the case that haunts him. So, it's one of those things like they'll never know. And there's a certain point in the trial where Garcia, it seems that he lost faith in his attorney and he just stopped talking to him altogether. And then it like he literally just shut down and just stopped talking to him. And then it became very difficult. I can only imagine how difficult it would be and it also isn't very, convincing for them, but it doesn't matter. I mean, he says, he's like, if you are, when you're a defense attorney, you do not ever ask them, did you do it or did you not do it? You just say, what do the police think, or what are the police accusing you of? And you start there. So at the end of the day, he never asked him point blank, but he maintained his innocence.
What did he do? Do you know?
Garcia.
What was he accused of?
Yeah, he was accused of murdering 6 people. One of them being a 10-year-old boy, and a and I think the maid, like there was like not a maid, there was like a cleaning lady. I think both of them were killed. Like it was like 2, 2, and 2. Like it was like in one house it was the 10-year-old boy and a cleaning lady, and then there was a couple, like an older couple, and then I don't know if I got as far to hear the other two. I think it was another couple, but all of them were associated with like this they were doctors. Like it was like a medical like connection. So Dr. Anthony Garcia, he like the theory was that was this disgruntled person who got, fired from all of his jobs, and now he's seeking vengeance on, for all of these reasons. But there was also another person, like another suspect that Bob Mata believed was a very he there was some, and then the court system is really difficult because there are things that are like overlooked or thrown out because of like, and it becomes really difficult. And again, he just claims that this is the case that haunts him. And Garcia does sit on death row as we speak, and
shit.
Yeah, and it's heartbreaking to think, and to think like, oh my God, I can't even. One of the arguments that I'll just call him Bob makes is, the idea that if our system goes wrong, then this can happen to anyone. This can happen to your father, your boyfriend, your brother, your son, and it does happen. It happens every day, where people are, wrongfully convicted and then put on death row, and it's the wrong person. Like,
yeah, I know cases like that.
Oh my God.
Of people who are there is like those stories you can watch.
Yeah. Do you know the Stephen Avery case? This one is when Netflix made the show Making a Murderer. This was the Stephen Avery case, and this is such a controversial case. We could talk about, we're just going to slowly turn this into a true crime podcast, but
Yeah, go for it.
but we could talk about that. But it's such a controversial case because he, I don't believe that he did it. A lot of people believe that he did, but Netflix went out and made a 2-season show about his case and what was going on, and he has basically spent his adult life in prison. And what was really sad to me is that his parents always advocated for him, and both of them have passed, and never got to see him like get out. And like that's it like makes me cry thinking about, because I just again, if it's not him, and I think that there are like a lot of reasons that it isn't. I think it's really heartbreaking. So, but with this case with John Wayne Gacy, I think what's in, like, if you think about it in the other way, where there was a very brave individual who was like, I mean, from my perspective, there's a very brave individual who's like, this is the guy. He's good at what he's doing, but we need to take him down. We need to do it, or more people are going to die. Who cares if he's a pillar of the community? Who cares how much money he has? I don't give a shit. We're doing it. We're taking him down. Was he wealthy? Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's super wealthy?
Yeah.
Now, when they found these bodies, is it because he told them where the bodies were, or did they start ripping up the house?
They started ripping up the house, I believe, but they, there was that odor. They followed this.
It's like the Telltale Heart.
What's that?
The short story by Edgar Allan Poe. About the heartbeat that they hear inside the walls.
Ew.
Oh, okay. This is one of like the first stories. I have all of Edgar Allan Poe's writings upstairs. If the first story that I read, it spooked me. Yeah. It's a short story. Telltale Heart and The Black Cat are both two good stories that'll spook you. And the Telltale Heart is the man believed that there was a body buried inside his walls.
Oh my God.
Because he believed he could hear a heartbeat.
Oh,
it's such a good story. Oh, you should read it. It's not long.
Yeah, I want to read it. Yeah. I want to read it.
We should cover Edgar Allan Poe.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I would really like
I've read all of his
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
It's good.
Oh my God.
I should maybe just reread them first.
Yeah.
But that's like, how do you bury 33 bodies in your house, in your yard, and not have nightmares or like have some kind of reaction to that? It's a lot of energy. Do you know if he's putting them in bags or anything?
I don't remember that detail.
He's just tossing a body down in a hole and throwing some dirt on it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be bugs.
Yeah, it was like really
sloppy.
I think, when they like discovered, and also, some of them had been decomposing for 6 years. So, and that's how they were able to create like a timeline, of like, because of the level of decomposition and missing people reports and things like that. And
did he ever take any interviews?
Outside of this one, I don't know. Like while he was in jail?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I could see it. I mean,
Just people like that are pretty egotistical. They want the interview.
Right. Yeah.
They're pretty like narcissistic, I guess you can use. I don't like that word that much, but because I think it's overused. But they're they want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of. Have you seen that new show with Claire Danes?
What's the show?
The Beast in Me.
No.
Oh, you might like it. It's all right. People loved it. It won an award, but she's basically about to write a story on someone who was accused of murder. And but he's the type of person who would want to take that interview in jail. And I think a lot of killers are kind of like that. They get a little sloppy. They start to get away with it a little bit. Then they feel like the invincibility come over. Like, I can keep doing this. Already killed 18, 19, 20, 21. You're just like, and possibly more, right?
Oh my God. I can't. Oh my God.
I mean, did you ever steal as a kid?
I stole jelly beans from Giant and I would eat them while my mom was food shopping. No,
Did you ever think about stealing the next thing? Because you got away with the jelly beans?
No, I was really goody two shoe.
All right. Well, coming from a thief, when I'd take something, and then all of a sudden, and this is most people. Then you go, I can take something a little bit more.
Yeah.
Then I can take something a little bit bigger, and then I can take multiple things. I mean, I wonder if it's the same way with the people who murder people.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think you can
gonna get away with it.
I think you can relate to it in a lot of different ways. Like, with desire, like if you're just, if you want something and you're able to obtain it.
Do you know if he had sex with these boys?
There were, there was like, I don't know details, but there was a sexual aspect to it. And there were people who survived, they talked about the sexual advances that were made on them, like by him. So, and again, like the first case was, he was charged with or convicted of sodomy, which is, do you know what that was?
Yes, I know.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I had to look up the definition.
Sodom and Gomorrah. I think that's where it comes from. The word sodomy, I think, comes from Sodom and Gomorrah from the Bible.
Huh.
It's the city of sin that God wipes out with the flood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to look up the definition, so yeah, I don't want to say it here. I don't let
most people know what that means.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just a flower.
Yeah, all I stole was jelly beans. I don't know what that word means. Okay, 9 out of 10 people are gonna know that one.
Okay. That's good. Well, good. That's good. I'm glad I don't have to define it here.
Yeah,
it's
that's good.
uncomfy.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, no, we don't need that here. But that is the story
Of John Wayne Gacy.
I would like to know your thoughts and your theories, because I kind of shouted my theories at you, and I'm going to close this so we can just chit chat for a moment. And I would like to hear your thoughts.
I would like to look more into. I got to watch a documentary on this guy now, and I don't like the true crime stuff as much. It makes me sad. But all I can think, as you were telling the stories, he gets away with 1 murder, and he gets away with 10 murders, he gets away with 20, and he's just gonna keep doing it. And then if you watch the TV show Euphoria, the dad is a construction worker. Jacob Elordi, you know who he is? Mm-hmm. His dad is a construction worker, and he's doing this shady shit on the side. It's not murder, but he's gay as well, and he's like sleeping with like prostitutes and young transsexuals and stuff like that, and he's videotaping it, and he's getting away with it, and then he does it again, and he gets away with it. But you see like the side of like what you would maybe see as a John Wayne Gacy. You see the side of the dad, like sitting there going like, I don't know why I keep fucking doing this. And then he's like, it's like an impulse, like an urge, like an addiction. And then he's like, I'm hurting my family. Like if my family ever finds out I'm doing this. And then of course he does it to the wrong one. And he ends up doing it to one of the people within the school that his son goes to.
Oh my God.
The show's good. You should watch it.
I don't like these things.
Then don't watch it.
I mean, nobody likes these
things. You watch
things.
This? You like this stuff?
I have an easier time listening than watching.
Well, this one's it is disturbing. The show is disturbing at times. It is. It is. Man, I watch it. We're like, oof.
It's rough. I mean, I watched the first episode and I was out.
But then he basically there's a scene that is the reason I like the show too is because I pretty much like every character, and not for the reason that it's a good show or whatnot. They just play the characters so like I like watching a bad guy if they're playing the bad guy so well. I like watching his dad, and he's just there's a scene where he basically confesses to his wife and his 2 sons everything he's been doing, and he's like, screw you, I've been doing this, but then he's confessing in this like vulnerable way. He sounds like an asshole, but at the same time he's going like, yeah, and I fucking do this, and I don't know why I do it. And that it's like, and then since you're not going to watch it, the one son calls the cops on him eventually at like the end of season 2, I guess. And you see him just kind of sit there and accept it. And he's like, after he freaks out for a second, then he goes, like it's finally over. Yeah, and I feel like someone with a John Wayne Gacy, I wonder if when he caught that, if someone like him gets caught, do you think he thinks it's finally over? Like that pain, like do you think he wants to keep doing it, or he's doing it out of like an impulse or an urge? Because I wonder if people like that just want that to stop and go away.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like someone who's drinking is like, God, I wish. There's people that I know. There is a good amount of people that I know that end up going to jail because they got in a car accident or something like that. And then they come in the rooms of AA or something, and they say something along those lines. They're like, thank God I got caught, because then it ended.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't stop it myself.
Yeah.
And I wonder if someone like a John Wayne Gacy was like that.
Maybe. I hesitate to I hesitate to talk about it in that way because of the atrocities that he did. So it's like I don't want to kind of like pity him in any way, but I do think I think it's interesting to point out. I definitely think it's interesting to point out. And again, the whole reason I kind of brought this up today was Jeffrey Epstein, which a part of, like, again, you know, with how long it took for people to, you know, for him to receive law enforcement scrutiny. I wonder also if it was because he was high up, because he had a lot of political connections, and it's like, did they know about it? Did they know he was a little weird? Like, maybe they did. Maybe they knew he was kind of weird, and everyone was like, yeah, but we're not going to touch that. We're not going to touch that. And, like, the high up political people are like, yep, don't touch that, because we have pictures with him. We are associated with him. And now we're going to just, you know, not say anything, not hang out with him again, and hopefully it just goes away.
I just looked up, how wealthy was John Wayne Gacy? I didn't get a direct answer right away. I'd have to click on links. I don't know if I really want to do that. But God, if he
well, let me. I can see if
was some kind of wealthy. I mean, like, do you know who Aaron Hernandez is?
Yeah.
Football player?
Yeah.
I mean, he was out there committing murders. Did you ever hear how his life ended?
I watched a documentary on it. And I forget.
You could watch that documentary. I can never bring myself to watch it.
Really?
I think he dies in jail, right? But I think he had it comes out in the end, he had like a boyfriend in jail and all that, and he was possibly gay.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
I forget. I must have watched it a long time ago. Really quick before you continue, it says John Wayne Gacy was not wealthy in a millionaire sense, but he was financially comfortable and upwardly mobile for a suburban contractor in the mid 1970s. And
he had pull then, probably pull.
Yeah, it said annual revenue may have been in the tens of thousands of dollars, which in the 1970s would translate to a comfortable mid-class income. I mean, I don't know. You know, and actually I find that to be really interesting too, because again, he just had such an ability to position himself and you know, be in the right view, in the right circles, and in front of the right person or people. And you know, again, like, there's all this like controversy around who was photographed with Jeffrey Epstein or who's on the list, and does it mean that, you know, that you were involved or were you just there, and you know what's going on there. Like, I mean,
shit,
it's yucky stuff.
Do you know if that murder or that his death was televised?
Oh no, I don't know.
There's people that go and watch that shit.
You
can go to like public executions and watch it still.
I mean, can you imagine like when they had the public hangings?
Yeah, it was like a town thing to do.
People went and like watched.
Or chop your head off or something.
Oh my God, yeah.
You would cheer and stuff.
Oh my God, I can't even. Oh my God, like.
We would go there. And just go,
I mean, like.
All right, do it.
Yeah, But yeah, I just, you know, obviously if it's like a John Wayne Gacy character, it's like, you know, someone who's just horrific monster. It's like, yeah, you know, yeah, you're like, yeah. but fuck that guy.
Dude,
But
lethal injection, dude. Just I hate needles. Though. That's my thing, dude. I hate needles. I'd rather get electrocuted than take the needle.
the lethal.
Drop me from
Let's
something.
just reenact every type of. No, but
This one?
don't do the others. Stop.
What are the others?
Stop before we get canceled.
Wait,
Stop.
Do we have other ones?
I'm not telling
in the
you.
U.S.
No. But I do want to say
we have
like
firing squad still.
we do.
Maybe in Texas.
Oh, I will say that the last hanging, I'm pretty sure, was in like the 1960s, which doesn't feel like that long ago.
Are you trying to do math? No.
No,
I was like, I'll take a 5-minute break.
It's funny how well we're. Hey!
With the number 63 or something.
Hold on. 12 months. No, hold on.
Wow, 12 months and 60 years.
Was the last
Public hanging?
public hanging in the United States? 19. Oh. No, I'm wrong.
Oh, is it way long ago?
It's 1936.
Oh, that's still.
There was a 6
That's
in
still
there.
less than 100 ago.
Yeah, there was a 6 in there.
90 years ago.
Well, but I don't feel good today. Okay,
Yeah.
it's coming out.
Oh, well, I made more of that green stuff today, this morning.
great, good.
You're going to just have to eat some. It's just pure garlic and peppers.
Yeah, I told
It's
Joe I
not
was
as-
gonna come home with some.
Oh, good. 'Cause I didn't have any until this morning. I made it today.
I said I'll go get your salsa.
Yeah. Okay, you want to wrap it up?
Yeah, I guess so. How should we wrap this up?
John Wayne Gacy. 33 bodies. All thanks to a mother. Bringing him down. Sorry to that mother. Oh,
yeah. You're right. And the the Clinton testimony will not be public.
God, what's up with that, man? That's so. I mean, I was shocked to hear that it was actually going to be public.
Yeah, but like fucking finally. But of course
No,
it's not.
They
Of course
can't.
it's
There's
not.
too many. Our system would fall apart, and some want that. Some of us just want to live happy little normal lives in America. You know, we don't need our whole system to fall apart. But at the same time, we want the justice.
Yeah. I think that's what's so interesting about this entire case is that it's a collapse of so many different layers of our society. It's like this like pulling apart of politics, of the wealthy, of faith, of like just all these different things. And it's like, ooh, it's just so deeply invasive, I think, to what we know and what we're looking at. And I think that's just, it's sad. It's, very sad.
Yeah, of how they get these kids and how they get these young adults or whatever they were part of it. I mean, I know I've said it several times. I was in a dark underbelly of the world, but I was never in like an area like that. But at the same time, like, there's some dark people in this world. Talking about a John Wayne Gacy, like possessed by something to make you do something like that. There's people in the world that trade people still. I mean, it's not that crazy if we talk about slavery, but like people, I think there's more slavery in the world today than there ever has been, right? You ever heard this?
I don't know.
Yeah, like in Africa and things like that.
Wait, I have
Yeah.
a good question to end on. After this, do you think this was a nature or nurture situation?
Well, I don't know much about his nurture. Like too much about his nurture.
Yeah, I guess not like in
But if it's an
specifics.
impulse, I still go nurture.
Really?
Because I think genetics can pull the. I think your genes can load the gun, but your nurture's gonna pull that trigger, right? Like it's gonna be like your nature's the bullet. You might be, but something's gonna make you like nurture's probably gonna have whether or not you're gonna pull the trigger on that genetic
That's so
impulse.
interesting. I kind of feel the opposite.
Can you nurture it out of somebody? Can you build a moral compass in somebody? I just think that's why there's more crimes in ghettos than there is in, areas that aren't like that. Like, what's nature versus nurture? There's someone who was born in the streets to someone who was born in suburbia. Like, I think you got a bad deck of hands dealt here, bad hand of cards, whatever the saying is.
Sure, but I guess, and then I guess then we can talk about like the level of crime, because like if you're talking about like, if you're talking about someone who is like, stealing or around drugs a lot, it's like that to me, feels very environment based with the example that you just brought up, like, very circumstantial. But then with like the type of crime where, there's like the rape and murder of young boys and children or young men, like, and
yeah, I mean, maybe that's nature and him to be able to have that kind of impulse.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to persuade you. I just that's my thought.
You're a nurture, you're a nature, I'm a nurture.
Yeah, I'm like, don't call me a nurture. I'm a nature over here.
Not my fault.
Yeah,
I guess neither would be.
Yeah, and then it also just doesn't it just because you experience something in your, again, it doesn't help. It doesn't help what happens, but I don't think it is the direct cause or to crime or to like these horrible things. I think that is the aspect that makes it nature, where it's like that choice is in someone's head. But then someone can argue that the people's choices are determined based on like the environment that they grew up in and the teachings that they were given by their parents or by their caretakers or whatever it is. Like it's like it goes in circles, but I don't know. I still think it's has to do with like you're
just born that way.
Yeah, I think I want to say that. I think at the core of it, I think it's nature. Sure. Yeah, sorry if that's controversial.
I don't know.
That's my thought.
Yeah. All right, that's Sean Gacy.
Thank you for listening.